Across the Earth's oceans lie territories so deep, so dark that no human eyes have ever witnessed them. These waters hide ancient mysteries, forgotten species, and creatures only described in folklore. Yet these same creatures appear again and again across cultures separated by thousands of miles and thousands of years. How did civilizations with no contact describe nearly identical monsters? How did they know of giant predators long before modern science discovered anything similar? Tonight we journey into those mysteries. Welcome back to part 2 of our exploration, where we uncover 7 more mythical sea monsters. Creatures so bizarre, so powerful, so terrifying that even today, science cannot fully explain them. Our first creature takes us into the icy waters of the North Atlantic, the domain of the Norse Vikings. Among their countless sea legends, one stands out above all others, the Hafgufa, a creature so massive that sailors mistook it for an island. According to the ancient sagas, the Hafgufa lured prey using a bizarre hunting technique. It would rise near the surface, open its vast jaws, and release a strange, oily mist. Fish, and even ships, were drawn toward the stillness of this mist, believing the creature was merely land. Then, without warning, the water around the island would erupt. The Hafgufa would snap its jaws shut, swallowing everything caught in the mist. What's fascinating is that modern whales like the humpback and bride's whale use a similar hunting method: lunge feeding, waiting with their mouths wide open for fish to swim in. Could the Hafgufa be a mythologized version of an extinct or supersized whale species? Some marine biologists believe so. Others think the creature's description matches no known animal, making it one of the most mysterious sea monsters in Viking lore. Whatever it was, the Vikings feared the Hafgufa not just as a threat, but as a force of nature. While many sea creatures are described as beasts, the Adaro of the Solomon Islands are something far more disturbing, because they are described as intelligent. Legends say the Adaro were born from the spirits of people who died unnatural deaths. Half human and half fish, they roam the ocean during violent storms, riding waterspouts like living arrows. Unlike sharks or squids, the Adaro are said to actively hunt humans. Fishermen tell stories of shadowy figures beneath their canoes, sharp fins slicing upward like spears. Some bodies recovered at sea bear puncture wounds that match no known marine predator. To scientists, these stories are exaggerations. But to the islanders who refuse to sail during certain tides and lunar phases, the Adaro are very real. Whether psychological fear or a misunderstood species, the legend of the Adaro reminds us that the ocean holds dangers far beyond simple animals. Some threats, whether real or imagined, come with intent. Across India and Southeast Asia, ancient temples carved thousands of years ago display a strange creature, the Makara. Its iconography is so consistent, so precise, that it raises a powerful question. Were ancient people trying to warn us about something they once encountered? The Makara is described as a hybrid: the jaws of a crocodile, the body of a fish, the trunk of an elephant, or even the feathers of a peacock. This strange mix defies biology, and yet appears in temples from India, Cambodia, Thailand, and Indonesia. One theory suggests the Makara could represent a prehistoric marine reptile, something like a mosasaur or early crocodilian species that survived longer than science believes. Another theory proposes it symbolizes a creature that once lived in coastal regions before going extinct. But perhaps the strangest detail is its reputation as a guardian of waters, rivers, oceans, and even the gates of temples. Why a guardian? Why was this creature seen as both sacred and dangerous? The Makara remains a puzzle, a creature rooted in art, religion, and ancient memory, yet never fully explained by science. In Philippine mythology, the Bakunawa is a massive sea serpent, large enough to rise from the ocean and swallow the moon. While the story explains eclipses, many researchers believe the legend may be based on sightings of a real sea creature. The Philippines sits atop one of the deepest trench networks in the world, places where unknown life thrives. Fishermen across multiple islands describe sightings of enormous eel-like creatures with glowing scales and eyes reflecting moonlight. Some descriptions match giant oarfish, fish that can grow up to 11 meters long and shimmer like silver dragons. But the Bakunawa is said to be far larger and far more aggressive. Legends say when it moved, the ocean churned violently, creating waves strong enough to overturn boats. Some scholars believe that ancient people may have witnessed rare deep-sea creatures surfacing during seismic activity. The Bakunawa may be myth, or it may be one of the many marine mysteries waiting deep beneath the Philippine Sea. In Greek mythology, Cetus was the sea monster sent by Poseidon to terrorize kingdoms. But what makes this legend particularly interesting is the consistency of its description across multiple civilizations. The Greeks described it as a giant, armor-plated fish. The Phoenicians described a dragon-like predator that destroyed entire ships. Early Middle Eastern maps depict a similar creature with enormous jaws and sharp fins like scythes. How is it that cultures separated by oceans described the same creature? This suggests Cetus may not have been a monster of imagination, but a real animal. Some marine biologists theorize that prehistoric whales, far larger and more aggressive than today's species, may have survived long enough to inspire these stories. Shipwrecks discovered in the Mediterranean show structural damage not caused by storms or reefs, but by something powerful striking from below. Whether Cetus was a giant shark, a prehistoric whale, or something now extinct, its legend has stood the test of time across thousands of years. From the frozen Arctic waters comes one of the most chilling legends ever told, the Kalupalik. Inuit communities described it as a humanoid creature with long, bony fingers, green skin, and a spine that curves unnaturally like a snake. The Kaliki is said to live beneath the ice, waiting in silence. It emits a soft humming sound, a hypnotic vibration that lures people, especially children, toward the water. Parents use the legend as a warning, but several Inuit hunters claim to have seen shadowy figures moving beneath thin ice. Some even report hearing strange echoes or humming beneath the frozen surface, a phenomenon science cannot fully explain. Modern discoveries show that Arctic life includes creatures far stranger than we imagined. Transparent fish, giant isopods, and animals that glow under the ice. Could the Kalupalik be inspired by rare encounters with a deep-sea species adapted to freezing environments? From mist-shrouded giants and storm-born hunters to moon-eating serpents and living islands, the ocean holds stories that blend myth and reality in ways we still cannot explain. And with more than 80% of the ocean unexplored, these legends may not just be stories. They may be warnings, or even memories of creatures that once roamed our seas. If you want part 3 with even darker, more mysterious sea monsters, let me know in the comments. And remember, the deepest secrets of the ocean are the ones we haven't discovered yet.